Welcome to Natural Habitat Adventures Daily Dose of Nature. Today's topic, Big Bites Part 2, More Strong Mouths in the Animal Kingdom, presented by NatHab Expedition Leader Arpita Dutta. I'm your host, Rob Mess. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Arpita, take it away.
Thank you so much, Rob. As usual, it's like you have a hypnotic voice for sure. And thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in today. It's amazing to share again and come with the big teeth and big bites. So, as we have, I just because it's a part two, but I would like to just take few points from the previous webinar, like from the part one, so that you can relate with it who are new today. So with the big bites, when we talk about teeth, jaw, muscle, I think it's a very important part in the animal life to have these teeth, muscles, and stuff. It's a feeding behavior. It shows their combat, the defense. A lot of thing happens in the animal world with this whole mechanism of this bite, right? And we talk about the bite force, and in that bite force, the muscle strength includes the jaw structure, that how the jaw structure would be. As I was mentioning, that always when the jaw is shorter than and the head is robust, that gives more strength, or it gives more force to the bite. And of course, with that, the dental alignment is another very important clue to make sure that which animal has, I mean, because all have bite forces, but a different animal in their dental structure, in their dental alignment, gives them different way of feeding or different way of biting. And of course, the sex and the age. We cannot expect the same thing from a toddler. But my niece, when she was young, I don't know where she has learned it. She starts biting, and really, I used to get a mark of her, those small, like four to five teeth on my hand. So yeah, but these all depends. And of course, with that, if you touch your own jawbone and on your cheek, if you keep your hand, you would see and start like chewing, and you would feel that a muscle movement is there. You can feel on your palm. So those are few. So that is, this whole muscle system is called the masticatory system. And that, in that system, the two main muscles especially is the masseter and the temporalis. These two because of these two, it depends that how force fully you can clamp, like you can close your mouth and put a strong bite. And also the joint system, and it has these three main joint system: the masticatory, the maxilla or the upper jaw, and the mandible, the lower jaw, and the temporal bone. So these are kind of the structure for which we are able to bite, or rather all this masticatory system. Because of that, we can actually talk, we can chew or swallow. All these things help it together. And to know the bite force, I mean, there is a machine for which we take the bite. I mean, especially for the animals, even for us, also human, we take that. It's the like the force transducers is there, and the bite force we measure in that pound force per square inch. In short, it's called PSI. So this is the part of it. And just so that you can relate, we human have only 162 psi, and we don't have the capability of shearing the flesh or piercing the skin or flesh, or crushing ability. We don't have that. We can damage the upper part of the skin, or the tendons or nerves, but we don't have the power to crush bones or tear muscle in that 162 psi. So now with this, for a second, we would come to the part two, where we have the hippos, the your leopard seal, jaguar, and our polar bear. And while we are proceeding, let me know which all animals you have come across, and did you have like seen their teeth, whether they were yawning or fighting or feeding, and which are the trips you have been. Just let me know. It will be amazing to know that. And let's start with this adorable leopard seal. I mean, imagine, look at the face. I mean, as soon as it just popped up on my screen, it's kind of, I made it like, it just, for a few seconds, I just lost my speech. I mean, a playful marine creature with a big, soulful eyes, these round, large eyes. I mean, aren't they so adorable? I mean, it seems like it holds so much of curiosity, and also this eyes remind me of the Puss in the Boots of Mask of Zorro, if you remember. And yes, so they are totally adorable, and their streamlined body like glides gracefully through icy water. I definitely would like to cuddle. I mean, look at that smile. I mean, even while moving, the facial expression they have, and while swimming or even when they are relaxed, their face reflects this gentle and charming personality. So altogether, it looks cuddly. You can snuggle with it, but this is how you can feel or how you can imagine. But behind this innocent, cuddly character, there is an efficient predator. Its jaws are strong and well adapted for gripping and tearing. The jaw muscles are like powerful, which allows it to deliver a forceful bite. Look at the teeth. I mean, they are extraordinary. And you know what? They have this non-masticatory adaptation of the jaw. I mean, rather than other mammal on the land, they have a different like set of muscles, and the muscles are same, but their work and the alignment is very different, you know. So this like the jaw muscles are powerful, which definitely allows it for the bite, but they have a short neck too. If you see like other mammals with a little longer neck, like carnivores, if we talk about, so they have like more power to put pressure on their neck. The neck muscles are very strong, for which they can actually forcefully, tear or just sling their head. I mean, move their head like a slingshot so that they can take out a lump of muscle. But for them, it doesn't happen because of this short neck, and the and they are also like fall under the pinnipeds, and for which they don't have this masticatory adaptation. And the teeth of a leopard seal are specially designed for its diet, like krill, fish, penguins, even other seals. Like their inward carving is there, they are pointed, they're interlocking and grooved, what you can see in the picture. And in front teeth, uh, it's a very sharp and pointed, perfect for catching and holding on to its prey. Did you see that? If I have to like look at this, I mean, over here it looks little blunt, but it, of course, when the force comes over here, rather it's looking pretty sharp and pointed out here, so it helps to grab. And especially in the marine world, if you have like a slippery fish and all, so you have to hold it first to kill it, right? So they have that over there. And behind these molars, if I go here, and behind like behind these molars, they are like this interlocking teeth, which helps to shear through the flesh and break down the tough part like bones. And they have this spatial arrangement of 38 teeth in the strong jaw and sharp teeth, and as they're grooved, so when they lock, it gets locked. Like they just need to tear it. And these interlocking molars allow the leopard seal efficiently process their food by crushing and slicing. And this also helps them in filter feeding. So if I go back to the previous picture, so imagine if you take like water, like a suction, the suction was used to draw small prey like krills into the mouth and then expel the seawater through this sea formed, look at this, sea formed by the post, like this post canine. These are the canines for the post canine. So the krill stays inside, and they can crush those crustaceans, and also when they feed on these penguins or seals, they have to aggressively hold it to, to crush the hide of the penguin. So yeah, that's how they do it. And so we definitely say that it looks cuddly, it looks adorable, but of course it cannot be a very friendly one, or we feel threat. Sometimes there are some incidents recorded that human got, injured by the leopard seal, because they're one of the aggressive animal as well in the ocean. But there is a nice story. I mean, with this aggression, of course, but there are exceptionals. So, and I was so like overwhelmed with the story. And so he's a photographer, Paul Nicholson, and he was in a project. He's a nature photographer. So during his project on leopard seal, this leopard seal have seen this photographer around, and it started to bring dead and even alive or injured penguins uh, to the photographer. I mean, it started offering, and you can actually get this story if you Google. You will find this story to get the whole story about that, how many days and what all happened. But it was incredible, like how they I mean, how an individual started connecting with another individual in that ocean, in that hostile area. And this is how the whole filming has happened. And though their bite force is not documented yet, but they have been compared with a bull shark. So you can imagine, I mean, it itself makes a deadly predator in the ocean, right? And I would say that you can actually go through that to the article to know more about the leopard seal, and it's very nicely written. It's the Inside Antarctica, a rare video of leopard seal in our NATAB page, and I hope you would enjoy it. The narration is really, really pretty good, and you will get the other information about the leopard seal as well. So, yeah, so something to look forward to. And yes, with that, our next superstar when it comes to bite force is the hippos. And when I see them, like I haven't seen them in real, only have seen in documentaries, and I have seen them in zoo, of course. Even I have seen a hippo, like those helicopter uh, thing, what they do at the back with their tail to just spread the shit around. This is how they mark. So yeah, I have seen that, and it was definitely funny. But more than that, I think it's a it looks chubby, like water loving tank, or just imagine it like a marshmallow, just with a small leg, with a grumpy attitude. And And those tiny ears, I mean, especially when they're above, like when they're surfacing, only when you see the eyes, or sometimes the eyes are down, only you can see the ear, and the ear is moving. And those, but they're so tiny compared to their body. It seems like they're picking up every gossip, whatever is happening around, isn't it? So yeah, but it is one of the most powerful and specialized, like it has the specialized jaw structures among all the mammals, which gives it a like high bite force. And the skull of the hippo is large and robust, what you can see in the picture, and it supports massive jaw muscles that are essential for its powerful bite. You can see, I mean, they can open their gape like 180 degrees wide. Oh my gosh, almost like half a circle. That's too much. I mean, um, owl turning its head more than like 280 degree, 300 degree, and then this one, I mean, these guys are incredible, isn't it? I mean, every wildlife is just, they are superheroes. I mean, how they behave in the wild. And yes, sorry, so the lower mandible, what you see is like particularly very strong and thick, allowing to withstand and exert enormous pressure. And the masseter, the muscle, you remember the masseter and the temporalis, these are the two very specialized muscle for our chewing and as well as how the bite force is. So these two muscles are extremely well developed and exerts tremendous force while they are closing their jaw. And the hippos have tusk, and the hippos have like tusk like incisors and canine in both upper and lower jaw, what you can see on the right hand side, that how they look like. And this is how it like the lower jaw, how it looks. So these teeth continue to grow like throughout their life, and like almost it can reach over a foot. And this incisor, what you see, is for biting and for fighting. And these canines are primarily used for combat with other hippos. And as we all know, they are very aggressive. They behave very grumpy, and they are very defensive about their territory. I mean, they don't allow either it's another hippo or some other animals. They kind of very protective about their territory. So the molar located farther back, you see, are larger and flat. Look at this. These are the molars here, the premolar and the molar. And they are for grinding down the tough vegetation or the feed on. And together it has the bite force around 1800 to 1900 psi. So you can imagine we are still standing at 162 psi. I mean, this is so many hundred times more than us. And by the way, did you know that even hippos, because our lower jaw is movable, right? But they it is movable as well. But they can swing up with a great force, like while clamping down. It is this massive incisor and canines, when they touch, like they can swing on the side, that a hippo can do. Sorry, I have seen that in spotted deer, where they actually sidewise they can chew their food. But anyway, so they especially, I mean, having these huge teeth and this grinding molars and premolars, they are herbivores. And the bite force used for only crushing this tough vegetation, they don't, or just biting, or for the territorial defense. Otherwise, um, these teeth are not for the flesh eating thing, but their bite can be lethal. Excuse me. Sorry, I had to sip some water. Yeah. So as I was saying that though they are not for the flesh eating thing, but their bite can be lethal and are capable of inflicting severe injuries. And I think now, till now, we have a lot of records that people have been injured by hippos a lot, more than crocodile. Seriously. And with that, and with this, I mean, we this is also called a water horse. And as I mentioned, they are very aggressive in their behavior. Look at this, how it's open its mouth, but they kind of nice. I mean, if you stand with some, I mean, I have seen in the zoo with a watermelon or with a pumpkin, you just stand there, they just come opening your mouth. But it's scary actually to look all this dental, scary dental arrangement. But anyway, with that, though they are scary, their bite force is more than 1800 psi. But there are some adorable stories. And let me know if anybody in the audience lives in Ohio. And in Cincinnati Zoo in 2017, Jan 24th, a hippo was born. Like after 75 years, a hippo was born in the zoo. And she was uh, she was born 6 weeks premature and weighed only 29 pounds, which is almost 25 pounds less than usual weight when they are born. And its name is Fiona. And in 2017 only I have seen Fiona for the first time, like of course in the news. And there are a lot of YouTube videos that how Fiona is growing up. And I would say that is another like so adorable. Fiona without a teeth, like with those gummy jaw, gummy mandible rather. And they, with the caregiver, they're coming. She was biting her thighs. I mean, it was so playful. And I mean, almost like there were 6 7 caregiver doctors, I mean vets, and so many people were attending Fiona 24x7. And now Fiona is about almost like entered maturity. And she weighs almost 2400 pounds. But though still it is less than the normal adult female of her age. But they say that she will grow like gradually. But this is amazing, like the story behind this. If you all are interested, just I would say just go watch the video in YouTube called Fiona, the hippo baby. You will get more information. And I believe that if you have been to the Cincinnati Zoo within these years, you might have come across Fiona as well. With that, and again, there is a beautiful write-up uh, related to hippo in the NATAB page. You can actually go there and look for it. It's a very it's written by Matt, so you can imagine like how beautiful storyteller he is. So you can go and check this out. And with that, our next uh, I would say it's a beautiful, like they are a predator that strikes with lightning speed and precision. I mean, look at this. Look at the body. I mean, just the shoulder, this head. Again, look at the head of the jaguar. Like it's again shorter, robust. You know, they're short. The jaw is shorter, and the head is much more roundish out here. So strong jaw power. And I mean, I think Jaguar is an embodiment of strength and power. And I love this rosettes, even for Jaguars as well as for the leopards. They resembles this dappled light in the rainforest or in the moist deciduous forest. They exactly look like that, and that's the reason why they can camouflage like anything. That you can just miss out these cats just like that. But yes, the power. And I think in the local language it's called the jaguar, which means kills with a leap. And of course, the jaguar definitely suits it. And it's definitely a beautiful, and I hope that someday I'll end up going to Pantanal to see them, just getting close to my boat, or just to see them close, how they behave, how they walk, or how they jump. It would be amazing. Let me know if any one of you have been to Pantanal. But anyway, but when we talk about jaguar, it's a cat. And we have been knowing these prehistoric cats as well. I mean, we know the saber tooth. When we talk about teeth, it's huge. We have seen that. I mean, in pictures, of course. But did you know that jaguar have also survived the ice age? And it is also an old cat that evolved around 3 million years ago in Eurasia first. Gradually, then it moves towards the east and west. And we are lucky that we are still witnessing this beautiful cat now, despite of all the challenges it is facing. But anyway, this big cat has one of the most powerful bite of any big cat relative to its size. I mean, it is even higher than lion and tiger, and including like a broad and robust skull is also shorter and compact, as well, compared to the other cat I was talking about. And it actually increases the leverage for biting. And so, and imagine when it forcefully, those incisors or the jaw pressure falls on the prey, it's kind of concentrate, because it doesn't have much space to spread that force. It concentrate on that particular area, which makes it bite force so strong. And leopard bite force is of like 1500 to 1600 psi. Again, we are way below than all this all these animals. And the jaw bone, what you see here, are very strong and thick. Look at this. It's very, and providing like the sturdy base for the muscle. And these muscle I'm talking about is the masseter and the temporalis. So masseter mostly remains like here, and the temporalis are here behind the ears. So this is how it goes. And to exert, and this muscle attachment actually helps to exert that significant pressure when it is biting. And like other animal, masseter and temporalis are well developed like other mammals, but they are much more stronger just because of the shorter distance or the shorter skull. They exert so much uh, force. And this temporalis actually movement over here, what you see is the vertical jaw movement. So it's like here. And the masseter out here helps in the horizontal movement of the jaw. So it's an additional power and the precision how they go with it. And their teeth are strong enough to bite like thick hide of the caiman. Of course, I mean, you can imagine. I mean, a caiman, being crocodile. I mean, they themselves are so strong, so they can just bite and crush even a hard shell turtle. Like they can do puncture in the skull in a blink. So I mean, even the molars and premolars of the jaguar are like adapted for shearing the flesh and crushing bones. They are pretty little flat compared to their like other the front jaw structure. And so jaguars often kill their prey by biting directly onto their skull between the ears, piercing the brain. Look at this. See these two ears just in between, they hold the bite there. And that's how easily they can reach that nutrient part of its prey, the brain and the bone marrow. they can crush their brain, they can crush the bone, so it gets really easy for them. And but though be and here sorry, and what should happen is, like, with a sling lock, like as I was mentioning, that if you hold your own jaw, and suddenly if you just put your teeth jaw together with a force, okay, open your mouth, and with a force you clamp your jaw, and you will feel that jerk out here, and you would feel the stretch of the muscle. So imagine how much it actually can open, around 120-degree it can open, and then it's a shut, like the sling lock happens. And this is how even the prey cannot move, or they do very clean kill. In a very simple language, very precisely, they do a very clean kill. There's jaguars as well as the tigers as well. So yeah, with the but I mean, being such powerful um, predator and an epitome of strength, as I was saying, and we know that, right? Their population is declining, and because of the deforestation, climate change, and illegal hunting. Though after a lot of conservation effort, walking to the communities, a lot of thing has changed, especially in Pantanal. Definitely, a lot of thing, and I think this conservation tourism has taken this place into a different level. And there are a lot of poachers who has turned into a conservationist. I mean, these are the biggest achievement. Even in India, India, Nepal, there are people like we work with who have converted to a conservationist or a wildlife lover from a poacher, or from like who never bothered about the wildlife. I think this is one of a beautiful story out there. And I think you all can check out our new film on Zappa and the jaguar. And it's a nice story, and you would love it. And with that, also, there is another in panthera.org. In their site, you would get the story of Mariposa, or Mariposa. This is how they named the jaguar in 2009. Yes, in 2009. So she was coming out there, and they have tracked that jaguar, and now she has a lot of offspring, a lot, like almost she got 11 daughters and some male. But those male cubs, they are not in and around the vicinity. They have left for different areas to build their own territory, but the females has been seen near that area. So you can imagine, I exactly don't know the number of male cubs, but there were 11 females, I mean, which is a big number. So you can imagine that she has actually get this like the whole population out there, and they all have dispersed. So of course that's a very good sign. So if possible, go through that this story as well. You would really love it. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, whenever we talk about wildlife, I think the biggest part what we get is the conservation story, uh, because that is the success, right? I mean, the crucial time we all are in, and the conservation we are doing because I mean, this is us only, the human, for which this conservation efforts are needed. And I think when we see some successful stories, and that gives that pump, that blood in us, that okay, we can do more, or there is nothing, I mean, there is still hope that we can bring back a lot of things. So yeah, this is one of the story like that. And I think all the animals I've been talking about, if you go through those writings and a lot of videos, you will find a lot of beautiful conservation stories. And yeah, this is our new YouTube. I think he's amazing, and I was like so touched because he's exactly how emotional I get while I am strolling in my territory, in my part of the forest. I feel emotional, and seeing at him, it's been amazing. Like somewhere, I think we all human and people who even not only the guides. I think who are work in the conservation, even people who visit those wildlife or national parks, they are so connected. I mean, you feel that, and I think that connection actually, bind us together. So I would request you all to see this video. I mean, it's an incredible video, and nicely shooted, and people talk about that, how things were there and how things have changed. I think you will get an idea about the Pantanal and how the trips really helped to do this conservation out there. So yeah, and after the jaguar, one of the animal which we cannot miss out is the polar bear. Honestly, after I've like grown up, started to know about other animals, I I slowly like understand that there are other animals with who are very aggressive, who has the bite force. But when I was very young, very small, the first animal I have heard of a carnivore, like who are one of the aggressive carnivore in the world, I got the name polar bear. So yeah, it's associated with me for a very long time, and. So they are like the king of the Arctic, and they're incredible because they have to fight for life in some of like the harshest temperature on earth. And they are so important in that area because they are on the top of the food chain in Arctic. And imagine, like, to survive in that temperature, they they definitely need to consume the like large amount of food, which of course includes a lot of fat. And the source they get it from is ring seals. And I think we all have come across to the videos that how they go behind the seal, and that really makes it like how intelligent that animal is and how difficult it is to get one seal. I mean, there are so many attempts, only 11 to 12% sometime they achieve to get their food, to hunt down a seal. So uh, the part of a large robust skull, it is elongated and slightly flattened. And also it has a very unique thing. It's called the sagittal crest. It's here. It's exactly here. How you see it's little above to it. This is the place how it goes. And and that indicates that it has exceptionally strong jaw muscle. Um, and these are the ones. So anyway, the skull, and look at the skull shape, like it optimized for this strong bite. I mean, imagine the force it would put from here. The grip, actually, more than the force, is the grip. Gripping large prey, and the jaw supports those strong muscles. And this lower jaw is thick, just like the jaguar, and strong, which puts significant pressure uh, where it's been like whenever it's closed its mouth. And this jawbone also provides the leverage, sorry, the leverage in increasing the force of the bite. So this is the one, the jawbone. Okay, and so uh, if you were just give me a moment. Sorry, I forgot there was another picture. The animation is not coming. By the way, I'm just telling you. So what happens is they develop this jaw muscle, like which provides the strength to clamp down. So if I just imagine if there is the temporalis out here, and here is the setter, and they are like crisscross in between or under this eye socket. Okay, so imagine when they bend or when they pull their lower jaw back, this whole temporalis get a stretch till here. So imagine when they close the mouth, it's like a bam, not even a clap, it's a bam. It's a like a crushing bite, and they have long, conical, and sharp canines, like ideal for piercing through tough skin and fat. Of course, they have to like for seal, they contain a lot of fat and those all blabbers, so they need to pierce that. And just like the jaguar, they also like crush, they try to hold their prey by the neck or by head, because that's how it can pierce the skull or the neck, the cranial nerves, and that actually do that makes the kill very quick and very efficient. And of course, the molar and the premolar, these are all for the shearing the muscles and for grinding and for crushing. And they are more flat for the grind. And these teeth, of course, for the polar bear or for the jaguar or for hippos or for sea leopard, sorry, yeah, leopard seal, and for other animals we have spoken about, is not only for eating, it's for fighting, for the combat. And if you have come across a fight of any of the animals, you would see how fiercely they fight for their territory or for the female, or for a defense, right? So they use it because they need to survive in that kind of a hostile temperature or in that area. And so, and that's also, and these teeth also help them to access, uh, in that or breaking through the ice, or just access the breathing holes where the seal surface. So they need that strength over there. So this is how they work with their jaw and their teeth and the muscles. And with that, you would see, as I mentioned, that they are the king of the Arctics. I mean, I have only seen the sloth bear or the black bear standing up on their feet like this, but how amazing to see all the bears like standing on their feet, either they're walking or looking out for something. And you can imagine that this is our nature vehicle, like in the Churchill trip we do, and here is the polar bear. They kind of come really close, but of course without disturbing the habitat or the animal. It's amazing to see them in the wild. But of course, with this, we all know that due to the climate change, the snow is just going out, and they are losing, their place. That also we know. And sorry. And of course, with that, if you have more like interest in the polar bear, just to see how it walks and all, we have innumerable number of videos and pictures. But it's a recent film done on the polar bears in Churchill, and you can actually listen to it, and even the conservationists who have been talking about. And I think this is another very nicely done film on the polar bears, which actually reaches your heart, that how they are and what they're facing because of the current situation, and that makes so much of difference. And um, with that, I mean, WWF, all other organization as well, in every way, but WWF almost have their 50 years of international cooperation on polar bear conservation. And it has been like an amazing, I mean, still that conservation success is still going on. Still we see the polar bears out there, and everywhere how it can be saved and stuff, and what can be done to give more space to the polar bear, because their territory, I would say, is shrinking, which is really not good, because you can't waste your energy on just combat, right? For the fittest, survival of the fittest. So yeah, we have to give them more space. We are no person, but we can actually put our effort with the organizations, so that they can work more, or just to bring back all the animals who are nearly threatened or who are getting close towards extinctions. So yes, that's how you can actually read the whole report of 50 years in WWF site. That is even another good read. So yes, with that, I would say that we all talk about these beautiful animals, though it is a bite force. And just yesterday, it was the World Elephant Day, and we have been like talking about elephant, and there are so many other animals we kind of acknowledge on a particular day. But I think it's not only the work of the conservationist or for the government, even a general person. Everyone. I mean, just what we need is to be like cautious. Imagine these beautiful animals. I mean, they are so powerful, but they are so vulnerable nowadays. I mean, towards this climate change and towards this deforestation and everything. How we are utilizing things in the on this planet depends that how we live our life and how they live and how we let them live their life. So I think we all can take the responsibilities and give a better world, and I'm ready to take up the questions.
All right, Arpita, thank you so much. Now, before we start in with the question and answer session, I would like to remind everyone that you can submit your questions via the question field in your control panel. All right, so let's get to some of these wonderful questions. So, how?
Rob, can you speak a bit louder? I can't hear you.
Oh, is this better?
Just a little bit, just how you started your talk. I mean, that voice was good. Right now, I'm just hearing very light. Can you talk back?
So, how dangerous is the leopard seal to humans?
So there are few incidents where humans have been injured because they are solitary and they kind of move around by themselves, not in a pack, and because they are around 11 feet big, their body, the size of the body. So for them, something is moving around them in such a way, so they can just come out of curiosity, also they can just try to bite, so that itself is dangerous. But yeah, keeping a distance and looking at it, nothing has happened. But yes, there are some records that people got injured by leopard cell.
All right, thank you. Excuse me. Thank you so much for that. So, at the Cincinnati Zoo, did they have to stay away from Fiona for a while to avoid those big, powerful jaws? And how do you acclimate an animal to the zoo like that?
Okay, so a very good question. So the thing, what happens is, we always say that in zoo, the animals get imprinted very, very much, and the caretaker, the curator of the zoo, and who takes care of those particular animal, they know that person from a very young age or for many years. So they build a relationship on trust, so that really helps, so they don't show aggression. Because what I can say is, because I do a lot of rescues and rehabilitation of the wild animal, and when they come to me, they are like pretty small, and generally I don't like, there are no other people who directly work with those animals so that they don't get imprinted. And they are, and during rehabilitation, till the time I do that, they are pretty, they kind of take you as like a as their siblings or as a part of their life. So they don't really harm, just you have to be cautious, like you don't overdo things. It's the mutual respect, I think, which you grow with the animal which are in the zoo or with between yourselves. So they kind of never seem very aggressive unless and until there are like some exceptional things, but otherwise it never happens.
Thank you, Arpita. So, if I am on safari and I'm in a jeep, am I going to have to worry about a jaguar attacking me?
Oh, no, 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 not at all. It won't. They don't eat junk food. I'm sorry. So don't worry about it. It's an amazing animal. So they have their own prey base, and they though they are very strong, but they have their very specific diet chart, and they don't like go out of their diet chart many times. So we are not at all in that chart. It's very nice. I mean, they kind of curious when things are coming, and for many animals, uh, because we are in the vehicle itself is a single object for the animals, how their vision works. So that's the reason why we always say that there should not be any sudden movement or sudden, a loud noise which will attract their attention, because to that animal it's a one object, and which is pretty big. So they would look at you in a curious way, or they would try to hide, or they will do their own business. But chances of coming and jumping on the vehicle, it doesn't happen.
So, if they don't have to worry about us, who do the jaguars have to worry about? Who is their main predator?
Oh, wow. So their natural predator, no, but it's the deforestation, the habitat loss. And it's not only for the jaguar, it's all around the world for every animal. Habitat loss is like the first and primary concern we all have right now. Because and that's why WWF is working more on the landscape solutions with that, and also illegal poaching. It's wildlife trafficking. You know what? Wildlife trafficking is now stand like on third after human and narcotics. I mean, this has become is a big market. So this illegal poaching is there, and yes, climate change, a lot of vegetation. Imagine a pantanal. It's like so different types of habitat are together. It itself is like a biome, what we call in our language. And due to climate change, even those places are facing different problems, and animals can adapt, but the change is happening so faster that even it is getting difficult for the birds and other animals to adapt as quickly as things are changing. So yes, the threat is from from the world itself, how we have made it. Does
Thank
it
you,
make
Arpita.
sense?
Uh, it does and it doesn't, I guess, would be the correct answer. So,
Okay.
let's talk about polar bears for a second. They're such a large animal. How does an animal become so big when they're living in such a stark environment?
Ah, oh gosh, that's a whole evolution topic. Okay, but I think I need to get back with the answer, because
Okay,
a lot of evolutionary things are there in it. It's all the change, because before Ice Age, a lot of animals are pretty big. Even when we talk about jaguars, they were also very big, and slowly when things are changing, they started shrinking the size. But when the polar bear, they're still in the Arctic, so there are some relations regarding that. But if you share me the email ID of the guest, I can revert back with the answer.
All right, will do. And one final question: What what is the predator for a polar bear? What do they have to worry about?
um Again, but yeah, right now I won't say the poaching has reduced drastically. It has reduced drastically, and that's a amazing work behind saving this polar bear. But I think the climate change is the biggest threat now for the polar bear. They don't have this natural predator out there unless they are fighting among each other and injured, and then they are dying out of injury. But the biggest threat for polar bear right now is the climate change.
Well, we appreciate your thoughtful answers, Arpita. Unfortunately, that is going to be the last question that we do have time for today. So I'd like to hand it back to you for any closing comments you may have for us.
Thank you so much for tuning in and for listening to me. It's been always a pleasure, and I hope see you soon. See you all soon, and have a great day. Have a great week ahead, and same to you, Rob. Have a wonderful week ahead. Take
Arpita,
care.
you take care as well. As always, it's such a pleasure to have a webinar with you. I'd like to thank everyone who tuned in and joined us today as well. Now, if you are interested in information on how you can travel with us at NatHab, give us a call at the number on your screen, or you could send us an email at info@nathab.com. Our adventure specialists are happy to help you out. Join us tomorrow for our next daily dose of nature. You can check out this week's lineup, including our registration links, on our website at nathab.com/webinars. We did record today's presentation, and we will have the replay available on our website soon. With that, I will conclude the webinar. Goodbye, everybody. We will see you next time.